In this video, I'll show you how to set the auto number field for a specific tables column. Now, what is an auto number? So, auto number is basically a field. You can create a column of type auto number, which will basically have which can have a value which gets incremented after every new insertion of the record. So take for example, for in this case, now I have prefixed IATA and the seed value is 7,000. Now if you create one record, the first record would be have that auto number field as IATA 7,000. Next record you insert, it will have 7,001, so it will increment by one in every iteration. So the more record you add, it will get added by one. Now, why would you like to set the seed value programmatically? Now I'll give you an example. So one example would be, say you have a dev environment and you have a UAT environment, and say you have a production environment. Now, in dev environment, so let's assume you are playing with, say, 7,000 as a seed value. So 7,000 is a seed value. And in UAT, you will ship the solution. It will have 7,000 as a seed value. And in production, you will have 7,000 as a seed value. Now, take, for example, you test it, so you may be testing with some records. So you may test with, say, 450 records, and then it will have 7049 as the last record. In UAT, you may add, say, maybe 10 record, and then the last record which you have added will have the value of 7010. And in production, maybe you might add, say, 7,000 and say 5 or 5 records. Now, this is the first iteration. So you deploy the build and you have tested in dev, everything is working fine. In UAT, it is working fine. In production, it is working fine. Now you think that, oh no, let me remove all the record from production because we just did a pre-production release. We just want to now go live. Okay. And but the production value should now start from 1,000. Now, when you deploy a second iteration or the second build from dev to UAT to prod, the auto number field will not go into the solution. So auto number seed value will, you cannot change that value. Okay, so take for example, in the build you may change the auto number to 1,000. Okay, and then deploy it. It will not change the seed value in UAT. It will still remain as 7,000 as a seed value, and even in production it will remain as 7,000. So if you want to change the seed value in the production environment, what you can do is, like, you can make use of a supporting flow which will independently set that seed value in production. Okay, so in this example we have created, like, we have deployed version 1 build. People have tested on production, so it was like a soft release, and now the team members are happy and they said, okay, let us go actually live. But this time, instead of going 7,000 as a seed value, I wanted something else, or maybe I start with 0,000 or 1,000. So for that you need to create a separate flow. Now a separate flow, how to create that separate flow? So maybe you go ahead and go into one of the solution, go into new automation, cloud flow, instant. Now it can be an instant flow because you're going to run this only once. Okay, so let me call this as set seed number in production, or maybe I'll just say go live release. Okay, so this is just one time flow which you're going to run. So manually trigger a flow, and I will select dataverse as a connector, and the action is an unbound action. So unbound action will have perform an unbound action, will have that setting seed value. So if you just type in seed, you will get two options: get auto number seed and set auto number seed. So I'll just pick up set auto number seed. It will ask for two parameters: entity name, attribute name, and then it will ask for value as well. Now, entity name and attribute name, what exactly are we changing? We are changing the auto number seed in, say, different environment, right? So for that, I need to first get the table logical name and then the column logical name. So for the table logical name, so airport is the table. I'll go to properties and pick up the logical name, and I'll put it in entity name. And then for the column, I will pick up the column, which is airport auto number, go to edit column, and then I will go to advanced option, pick up the logical name, and now set the value to say some value. Okay, now before we change this, I just want to show you the model driven app. So here in the model driven app, I have added one record, say 7,000 as the last number. I have also added one more record of 7,001. So let me add another record, and this time I'll just call this as say Washington Dells, and I'll just pick up some value, say San Francisco, and I'll just put some value. Click on save and close. And now, as you see over here, the number is 7,002. Now, the next record, if I add, it will be 7,003, 4, and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to change that sequence, okay, I don't want it to start from 7,000, I want it to start it from, say, 2,000. Then you need to make use of this supporting flow. So this supporting flow here, you need to exactly specify what value do you want. So I'll just say I want the record to be created with this value from now onwards. So I'll just click on save. Value is 2000, and I haven't run this flow as of now, so I'll just run this. So click on test, manually run a flow. So here we are changing the seed number for a specific attribute of a specific entity. And now currently the seed is set to 2000. Now, if you go into the model driven app, if your flow is run successfully, go into the model driven app and now click on new. Now, in the earlier case, we would have got 7,003, but now it should come as 2000. Okay, so let me call this as say dummy airport. Click on save, and as you see over here, now the sequence has changed from 5,000 7,003 to 2000, right? And now if you add one more record over here, it will be 2001. So it will be 2001. Now what if you want to change it again? Yes, you can go ahead and run this flow again. So this time I'm gonna run this flow again. So this is the flow which I will go inside and run it again. And now this time I'll change the seed value to say 9,000. Okay, so click on run flow, and now as you see over here, it has run the flow. It hasn't asked for the input. Now why it doesn't ask for the input is because we have hard coded this value and we have ran it again and again. Now here in this section, we have hard coded this value. Now what if we want the input to be say 9,000? Now for that you need to make use of the input. So here I will take an input of say number. Okay, and I will call this as seed, and I can put whatever number I want. So I'll go to perform an unbound action. Now instead of 2000, I will just point it to the seed value, publish it, and now run it. So now I've made it dynamic. So whoever runs this flow, instead of hard coding this, now it will prompt for a number. Now what I mentioned to you earlier is I want to put the value as 9,000. So now it is asking me for this number. I'll put 9,000, and I'll now run the flow. Click on done, and now the seed is set to 9,000. To verify it, you just click on new, and put some value. Click on save and close, and here you will see that the value which we have just created. So let me go into the here, so it has changed to 9,000. Now any more record which you create, so let me add one more record. So I'll just click on new. It should be starting with 9,001, and it is 9,001. So this is how you can set a seed. So this is an important concept. Now what it has allowed us is like auto number seed value does not ship as a part of solution. It is not solution aware. So whatever seed number you set in the first iteration, it will always respect that, and it will keep that number in mind. Now if you want to change the exact seed value to some different number which will allow you to change the value in different environments. So if in dev, if you have some value, and if you want to change that in production, you can just go ahead and change this value at any instance. But make sure that you create the supporting flow, and as you do this operation in the production environment, make sure that it's a precise operation, because if you mess around with the seed number, then all the sequences which gets created after that will have that bearing effect. So make sure that when you use it in the production environment, use it with caution, because this uh, alters the seed number value, and then from that point onwards your sequences gets created. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically set a seed number value using Power Automate for a model driven app. Thanks for watching.